So now the truth finally oozes out. The money was sitting there the entire time. Tiffany bounces, and suddenly it's, oh wow, look what magically appeared in the budget. Yeah, right. Of course the money was there. Napoleon signed off on that budget, slid himself a raise, shuffled numbers around like a street corner shell game, pulling the exact same stunts Tiffany got roasted for. And maybe, just maybe, she wasn't even stealing. Maybe she just didn't feel like showing her cards. Now Napoleon side-eyeing like, wait, did she actually do nothing wrong? Welcome to transparency, my guy. Napoleon, let's break this down. If you want to look honest, start by telling the truth. Don't roll up acting like the holy prophet of integrity when you're running the same grimy playbook with better commas. Saying you're clear means nothing if you're still hiding the real moves. Right now, the only thing see-through about you is your ego. You're not rewriting history. You're just remixing Tiffany's greatest hits. Stop acting brand new when you're clearly lip-syncing the same old script. Yo, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your hot take in the comments because this one is wild. At the latest Thornton Township meeting, the board came in swinging that defensive tone they perfected, like they're dodging invisible truth bullets. But what had me glued wasn't them, it was the residents. People stepped to the mic saying stuff that had me cracking up, shocked and slightly concerned. Just another episode in Thornton's never-ending reality show. But one speaker? Oh, he stole the show. Mr. Christopher Gonzalez. And something about this man's vibe always gave me don't trust me energy. Maybe it's just me, but I've had him pegged as shady for years, especially since he's a guy who name-dropped Tiffany back in the day and slid her into that supervisor seat. That move alone had red flags flapping like a parade. And now he's back at the mic? It's giving Snake in the Grass in full HD. So he starts talking, and then drops a line that made me hit pause like, hold up, what did he just say? Nope, not letting that slide. We're unpacking this, frame by frame. Because whatever game he thought he was playing with that statement, yeah, it's going under the microscope. You already know. I'm breaking this down until it's crystal clear. Roll the clip. First off, none of this is news to me. Tiffany hated being questioned. Ask her something, and she'd glare like you just insulted her mama. Her whole energy was, why don't you just trust me? Like asking for receipts was some kind of personal attack. And then there was her thing for hiring people with records. She called it second chances. But when your whole staff is ex-cons, at some point, it stops looking like grace and starts looking like strategy. Because think about it. Why surround yourself with people who can't challenge you without risking a parole violation? That's calculated. And she expected us to rubber stamp budgets we'd never seen. For all we knew, Tiffany could have been paying Tiffany. Not once did we get the actual numbers. Not once. Now the story is, everything blew up because Tiffany kept everyone in the dark. Nobody knew the budget. Nobody knew the cash flow. But she leaves, and suddenly, boom, Napoleon gets a raise and spreadsheets magically appear. So what's the real takeaway here? Are we saying Tiffany wasn't actually stealing? That she wasn't corrupt, just controlling and secretive? Because if the money was always there and is only now being shown, that flips the whole plot. I remember her saying it all the time, we have money. But if you asked to see it, she'd hit you with, watch your tone. Maybe it wasn't theft, it was pride. Not hiding receipts because they were fake, but because she thought you didn't deserve to see them. And honestly, that's a different beast. So here's the deal, now we got budgets. We've got spending reports. This is all I ever wanted, doing more with less. I was never here to get services. I wanted to grow them smart. And finally, we're moving in that direction. That's why locking in these budgets matters. Like the general assistance budget, the tax refund project Tiffany used to brag about. Yeah, it's back, but now with actual numbers. And Tiffany, girl, this is your chance to come back swinging. This man basically said, you weren't a thief. You were just impossible to work with. That's the truth. Your downfall wasn't crime. It was ego. But here's the kicker. If you act like you've got something to hide, people will believe you do. Keep the budget locked up long enough, and folks will assume you're laundering cash in the back room. You built that cloud over your own head. Even if nothing shady happened, you made it look shady. Still, that doesn't mean you can't spin it now. Drop your book, push your fairy tale. We both know it's not a real book. No chapters, no table of contents, not even an ISBN. Just a glossy flyer from Vistaprint. But if you want to run with, see? I wasn't stealing. They just didn't like me. Then crown yourself. And Gonzalez. Somebody cut this man's mic. He's talking himself straight into a grave. People are side-eyeing with please stop faces, but he keeps going like he's delivering TED Talk gold. Sir, you sound like a clearance rack motivational speaker. Back in the day, they'd pitch stuff like, let's do the tax refund project. And I'd be like, cool, where's the math? Who's it for? How does it work? Now we've actually got those answers. Back then, crickets. And that's how you move forward. Not just with the board, but with the residents, because they were left in the dark right along with us. Picture Napoleon sitting there like, wait, Tiffany wasn't embezzling? She just kept secrets. Now he's sweating like, if she caught all that heat for hoarding paperwork. What happens to me if I actually mess up? Lesson for you, Napoleon, be transparent. Be so see-through we can see your baby pictures. Be a window, not a brick wall. The supervisor even. Drop gems. Communication is everything. Board to board, board to resident. Ask. Answer. Repeat. 63 days later. We're finally doing it. It's like dating. You learn the quirks, you adapt, you grow. Unless you're one of the folks drooling over Napoleon. Side note, he's married. This ain't Christian mingle. Sit down. Still, progress is progress. And now residents are finally part of the conversation. That's the real win. And then, comedy gold. Don't worry, I'm going to do my job now. Sir, did you just announce to taxpayers that you've been on desk vacation this whole time? That you've been performing instead of working? And now you want applause for opening your laptop? What you think you're saying is not what's landing. Please, stop speaking. But shout out to the supervisor, the board, and especially the residents. Y'all kept pushing for answers, even the uncomfortable ones. That's how it works. No more dodging, no more trust me, bro, budgets. Two-way communication. That's the recipe. And that one lonely clap at the end, definitely is kid or somebody just waiting on a ride home. Pity applause, not pride applause. And Chris, next time you feel the urge to speak, resist. The last time you had a bright idea, Tiffany ended up as supervisor, and we've been in chaos ever since. Seeing Marvon up there feels wrong, like she clicked the wrong Zoom link. Maybe she's lost, maybe she's there for reasons we don't want confirmed, but it's not giving qualified. Back to Chris, because he basically confirmed what a lot of people suspected. Tiffany didn't steal, she just treated the budget like a locked diary. When she left and y'all finally peeked inside, everything was there. No missing money. No magic tricks. Just Tiffany being Tiffany. Paranoid, stubborn, allergic to accountability. And if you know she didn't steal, say it. Loud. Because the streets weren't saying she's bossy. They were saying she's a crook. If that's false, correct it. Yeah, she lies. She spins tales like a carnival barker. But lying isn't stealing. You stamp her with thief. And now that it's not true, you're whisper quiet, maybe Tiffany will pop up and clear her own name. If there was ever a time, this is it. She's tougher than most. Built for tough. Unlike a certain someone dragging a walker around town, crying wolf. Ma'am, please. You've been running your mouth for years, but the second someone questions your imaginary illness, suddenly it's harassment and call the police? Sit down. You'll stay nameless like you prefer, but Jedi knows. We all know the dots aren't connecting in your head. Anyway, y'all behave. Or don't. I'm not. Just remember, absolutely not. But yes, Mama still loves you. Always will.